Welcome viewers to another episode of Insight. The topic for today's discussion is how important are Asian British MPs in UK politics. It's an issue which is going around for some time. We have got a lot of MPs now as a member of parliament, around 51 of them, and they come sort of from various different backgrounds, but they represent the Asian population in the UK. The question arises कि क्या ये लोग हमें represent कर पा रहे हैं, क्या ये हमारी मांगें पूरी कर पा रहे हैं, क्या ये हमारा एजेंडा आगे लेके जा पा रहे हैं. तो ये आज टॉपिक लेके हम डिस्कस करेंगे और let's debate and get an insight. I'll introduce you to my lineup today. We've got a star-studded lineup of panelists available, जो कि MPs भी हैं, जो कि वोट भी करते हैं, और कुछ लोग ऐसे हैं जो MPs को सपोर्ट करते हैं, और कुछ लोग ऐसे हैं जब MPs लॉज पास करते हैं तो वो हाउस ऑफ लॉर्ड्स में उन लॉज को चेक करते हैं और उनको बेसिकली दोबारा वेट करके वापस भेज देते हैं. तो हमारे इस वक्त पैनल में अक्रॉस द बोर्ड हर चीज़ रिप्रेजेंट की जा रही है. तो ये एक अच्छा शो होगा. आपके कोई क्वेश्चंस हो, फील फ्री टू कॉल. The number would be on the screen. Feel free to tweet. We'll pick up your questions. और ये इंटरैक्टिव शो है. आपके क्वेश्चंस और ये डिबेट आगे चलती रहेगी. सबसे पहले मैं अब इंट्रोड्यूस करना चाहूँगा रहमान चिश्ती. रहमान is an MP, conservative member of parliament from Gillingham and Rainham constituency. Rahman has been a very active member for Conservative. He has been a councillor. और Rahman does marathon running in his free time. I don't know how much free time he gets, but he's a splendid athlete. फिर हमारे साथ लक्ष्मी काउल हैं. लक्ष्मी is the political aide to Bob Blackman, वो जो हमारे हेरो से hyperactive MP हैं. And Lakshmi is the force behind what Bob does basically. So Lakshmi would give us a bit of an input on what are the political aspirations of the people, how does she see that the MPs represent her and her constituency in the parliament. फिर हमारे साथ we are fortunate to have Baroness Shaista Shihan. She is a Lib Dem member of House of Lords, and Shaista is also the spokesperson on the international development for Lib Dem, and we will be asking Shaista questions regarding what's the point of Lords. So let's see what Shaista has to say about it. And then most importantly, we have representation from the Janta, from the people who vote. We've got Dr. Rajesh Ji here. Dr. Rajesh Ji welcome to the show. Dr. Rajesh Ji has taken time out, and he's sort of would be providing a perspective that what does voters think about politicians, how our politicians are behaving in the parliament, outside the parliament, how they are taking the agendas forward. Is there a typical South Asian agenda? Is that something which exists? And if it exists, is that being followed? Or is it like हमारे अपने politician mainstream हो चुके हैं, तो वो शायद अपने जो लोगों के जिनके वोट लेके वो आ रहे हैं South Asian population के, वो शायद represent कर पा रहे हैं कि नहीं कर पा रहे. तो viewers, let's debate and get an insight. I'll start with an open question, which would be Rahman.
Sure.
Would say you have joined politics. You've been part of it for a very long time. Just give me a view of what's been your aspirations. Why did you selected this profession? And you are a lawyer also by training. So how do you think sort of you wanted to become a politician?
Well, आफ्ताब, मैं पहले आपको कहना चाहता हूँ कि मुझे बहुत खुशी हुई कि मैं आपके प्रोग्राम पर आज हूँ, और मैं आपको ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि look, जब मैं politics में आया था, when I was younger, I wanted to be a cricketer. So and in my school there was another colleague called David Masters. He was a very good cricketer, a year ahead of me, and he's just retired. उन्होंने अभी retire की Essex और से खेलना cricket. And so जब मैं young था, और I think one thing my parents always said to me, and I think a lot of parents say, is in life, whatever you do, have good education. So जो good education के बाद I went on to be a lawyer, and जब मैं वकील था और barrister था, वहाँ भी आप people को represent करते हैं. And I used to come to Harrow to prosecute cases at Harrow Crown Court when I was barrister in London. So I can tell you a few things about Harrow. But what I would say is, जब आप वकील होते हैं, आप कानून देखते हैं, but when you come across bad legislation, You either sit to one side and you apply it, or you go into the system and you change legislation. And मेरी situation ये थी कि I was a councillor in Gillingham. I came to Gillingham when I was 6 years old. I was born in Pakistan. I did not speak a word of English. And in Gillingham and Rainham, वहाँ इतनी South Asian community नहीं है. But principle ये आते हैं कि if you work hard, if you do the right thing, then you can achieve anything in life. So it's about public service. I could have earned a lot more money as a barrister.
I'm sure you
But
would
in
have.
politics, it's about public service.
And that's good. That's good. Coming to you, Shaista, how do you see your role in politics, and why did you choose that profession? Because I know from the research we have done and my team has done that आपने different elections भी compete किए, आपने consulship भी देखी, आप MP के लिए भी थे, and you have been representing public for a very long time. What do you think? What really attracts you to this profession, basically?
I tell you, the reason why I entered this profession is purely by accident and because I got very angry. I got very angry during the Iraq War. I thought the Iraq War, the country was taken to war in Iraq on a false premise. And I was very, very angry at the way the whole thing unfolded, with one country being invaded, which didn't have any nationals on board any of the planes that struck the World Trade Towers in 9/11. So it's pure anger. We happened to be living in California at the time, but when we came back to the UK, I just got in contact with my local Labour Party, in fact, and my local Liberal Democrat Party. I'm afraid Conservatives didn't figure in my thinking at all. And I didn't hear back from Labour, and the Liberal Democrats were on my doorstep within about 10 minutes saying, can you deliver these leaflets for me? And that was my introduction to politics. It was purely to try and help the party that I admired at that point because of the way that they stood up to what they thought was an illegal war, and I wanted to help them win. And I got involved in the local level because I don't know if you've heard of the saying that all politics is local, and that is so true. It was when I got involved in politics and then I started to see the difference that local politicians, Liberal Democrat politicians, were making in Richmond. I thought, actually, this is something really worthwhile, and I would like to get more involved in it.
Oh, good. I think one aspect of this conversation is that what Shaz has described is that आप सब भी politics में हिस्सा ले सकते हैं. It's not an elitist game. It's for all of us. We all have to have that kind of zeal to survive and do some kind of public service and follow your dreams in terms of what you want to do. So मेरा पैगाम viewers के लिए ये है कि don't take politics as for granted. Be part of it. I'll go back now to Lakshmi. Lakshmi is the force behind what happens in Harrow, basically, where we are sitting at the moment. And Lakshmi, tell me what really takes you, because it's quite a full-on job being a political aide, basically, because whatever your MP does, probably it's you doing that kind of sort of support for him for 80% of that work. So how are you, what motivates you and how you're managing it?
I think I'll just correct you slightly. An MP has a team of parliamentary assistants and caseworkers, and there's a whole team behind him or her to make them do what they do. And it's also a lot of their sort of effort on the ground that makes them the kind of MP that they are. And that's probably what you could call the political will of a certain MP and the ability to actually reach out to the communities. Now, Bob Blackman is one of the MPs who's very well loved by his constituents. Some of his sort of residents may not agree with his viewpoint, but they still respect him, and that, I think, is a great quality to have. So my entry into politics has been an accident, has been born out of anger, and has been sheer and wanting to do public service. And all my life I've worked with charities. I've done public service nearly about 20 years now. In India, I've grown up in India, and I moved to the UK a few years back. And a very, very senior parliamentarian from the House of Lords, he reached out to me from the Conservatives, and he said, well, everything that you do is actually what the Conservatives believe in. The party of aspiration, the party that believes in putting people first and making sure that they do and they deliver things for their own communities, for the country. And that, I thought, that resonated with me. And then I wanted to work with an MP that I could perhaps relate with. And Bob Blackman happened.
No, I think that's very good of you to clarify. Basically, there is not one Lakshmi. There are quite a few Lakshmi behind Bob Blackman.
Can I just say on this, जो लक्ष्मी ने कहा है कि बहुत सही कहा है कि a member of parliament or member of the House of Lords or a councillor is only as good as the team around them.
Yes.
And who do the casework, who do the research, who go out and campaign. And therefore, I pay a huge tribute to all the volunteers and my casework and my researchers who make my job that much easier.
No, that's good. But thank you very much, Lakshmi. And I'll ask Dr. Rajesh ji. Dr. Rajesh ji is representing the public, you, the voting public here. And my question to Dr. Rajesh ji is, आपका क्या experience रहा है अब तक politician के साथ deal करने का, और आप किस तरह देखते हैं कि ये क्या ये अपनी aspirations पूरी कर पा रहे हैं, पहले अपनी और फिर अपने voters?
देखो, as a spiritual leader in Harrow, we have good experience from the last 17 years, which is the Labour Party हो या Conservative Party हो, कहीं और पार्टी हो. मेरे ख्याल से वो अपने शक्ति के अनुसार कार्य करते हैं, मगर समाज को कई बार क्या है कि सबको हम प्लीज नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. मगर सबसे ज़्यादा इश्यू अभी पिछले कई महीनों में आया है कास्ट का, जो लोग अभी बीच में बहुत आगे पीछे हो रहे हैं और अभी भी हो रहे हैं कि भाई एक कास्ट का जो इश्यू चल रहा है उसमें हमारे एमपीज और हमारे जो हाउस ऑफ लॉर्ड के जो मेंबर्स है या तो कोई भी पॉलिटिशियन है वो क्या कर रहे हैं, हमारा आवाज़ इसके अंदर कितना मजबूताई से चल रहा है, वो मुझे जानना है इस बारे में.
ओके, सो आपका पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू ये है कि जो एक मेजर इशू इस वक्त कास्ट है, व्हाट आर द एमपीज, तो दैट इज अ वेरी लोकल इशू, दैट इज अ वेरी साउथ एशियन इशू, और उसको हमारे एमपीज उसको मेन स्ट्रीम पॉलिटिक्स में ला पा रहे हैं कि नहीं ला पा रहे?
जी, क्योंकि कहीं भी जाओ, आप लेस्टर जाओ, बर्मिंघम जाओ, मैं इवेंट्स में जाता हूँ, प्रीचिंग करता हूँ, तो एक ही इश्यू आता है कि भाई ये क्या हो रहा है, इसके लिए क्या कर रहे हैं.
I think that's very good. No, Dr. Rajesh ji, thank you very much for your sort of opening contribution. I think viewers, you had a good understanding of where the panel is coming from. We've got a very balanced view of what's happening, or kis tarah sort of how the British MPs are sort of engaged in politics, in Parliament, House of Lords, and in Lakshmi case in terms of at a constituency level, in case of Dr. Rajesh ji at a voter level. Now, my other sort of I think what really had sort of given me a bit of issue is that do Asian voters come out and vote as they should, and do they really use their power? Because what I'm referring here is to Operation Black Vote, एक campaign शुरू हुई थी last election के पास. उसमें हुआ ये कि उस पूरी कैंपेन के नतीजे में क्या हुआ कि बहुत सारे जो कैरिबियन एंड ब्लैक वोटर्स थे, दे केम एंड दे वोटेड, एंड दैट मोबिलाइज्ड द होल सॉर्ट ऑफ political activity within that community. So my question would be with Rahman, starting with you, is that do you think that the Asian voters are engaged in the politics at the constituency level? Do they come out and vote, or they are a little bit I would say complacent about voting?
नहीं, इफ्तार बात ये है कि are the Pakistani or British Indian or the Bangladeshi voters key across the country? First, they have a key stake in our society and they should vote at every level. And the second point आप मुझे ये पूछ रहे हैं कि वो वोट करते हैं या नहीं करते. I think जो tendency होता है in some areas कि जितना वो उनको vote registration पहले होना चाहिए. In some areas registration इतना नहीं है जितना होना चाहिए. And also in terms of voting उसमें और ज़्यादा हो सकता है. But आप ये देखें कि यहाँ बरतानिया में number of constituencies हैं. There's number of constituencies where the British Asian vote is crucial to who wins or who doesn't. Halifax constituency थी जिसमें 400 vote का difference था last election में, and it could have gone either way. वहाँ बहुत British Pakistani community, and the Labour ने जो वहाँ काम किया था, they won that seat. So the demographics across the country in different seats, I think British Asian can play a key role. There's certain seats like Leicester and certain like Birmingham which can go one way completely for a long period of time, but others marginal seats होती हैं वहाँ उनका एक important role होता है, and I think सब parties ने उन areas पर और focus करनी पड़ेगी. But जो issue है कि जो हमारा British हुकूमत ने अभी जो race disparity audit publish की है, that made it very clear. There's a lot of areas with the British Asian community where वो अपना पूरा potential हासिल नहीं कर सकते, and both parties, three parties, all parties ने वो issues को हल करना चाहिए. If they do that, and more people from the British Asian community will vote.
So you're referring to the Prime Minister Theresa May's initiative of publishing the entire data, how the different communities have been served by NHS and other public services.
And उसमें बात ये है कि हाल ये कहना चाहता हूँ, I think that's a very good thing and it's the first time it's ever been done. जो key बात होगी कि what is the strategy to take it forward? That's going to be the key
Yes,
issue.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think this issue sort of keeps rumbling on, basically the participatory democracy, first past the post, जिसमें रहमान जैसे कह रहे थे एक एक वोट कीमती है. मैं जिस कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी में रहता हूँ वहाँ पे तकरीबन we had around 700 votes का फर्क था. So that could have made a lot of difference basically. So the first past the post का ये एक challenge है. Shian, I wanted to ask you, how do you see, because Lib Dem has this concept of proportional representation. And in theory that sounds a very good idea. क्या वजह है कि वो इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं हो पा रहा और क्या उसकी वजह से हम लोग हमारी जो डेमोक्रेटिक वैल्यूज़ हैं या डेमोक्रेसी कम डिलीवर हो पा रही है? What is your stand on Lib Dem's sort of this requirement of changing the system from first past to proportional representation?
I think the very simple answer is that first past the post doesn't deliver what we call a representative democracy, actually, because it doesn't represent the views of the entire country in the proportion that they have expressed it. And from my perspective, and I agree with my party on this, that it would be a better representative democracy if we had a proportional system. And it is so important that Parliament is reflective of the population, because how can we, as a representative democracy, aspire to represent everybody in a multicultural society if their wishes at the ballot box haven't been fully taken into account? What I will say is that it is really, really important that BME voters take part. And I just want to cite the example of Sadiq Khan. In May 2016, Sadiq Khan, against all the odds, against a vitriolic, racist, xenophobic campaign run by Zach Goldsmith, won by a substantial margin.
Yes.
He has the largest personal mandate of any politician at the moment. And I think people look at his result, and I think BME voters have been really inspired by it, and that's why it's important that people go out to vote, because it inspires and it motivates others in the community to do the same. So in the last general election, we saw BME voters come out. We saw Asian, black voters come out in record numbers in key target seats, which really made a difference and which meant that the Conservative Party and Theresa May's government didn't get the majority that they thought they were going to get. So it's really, really important that people register to vote and that they come out to vote. And I would say that we would have a better parliament if we had proportional representation.
Do you want to answer that, or do you want to?
No, I think what we'll do is basically the importance of how the representation we are getting from the voters. Lakshmi, you work on a very sort of at the constituency level. You're interacting with people day in, day out. You see them a lot basically. आप क्या समझते हैं कि क्या bottlenecks क्या हैं, where हमारे लोग ज़्यादा engage नहीं हो पा रहे और क्या किया जा सकता है कि उनकी engagement हम बढ़ा सकें? The vote registration is an issue, but I think there is a little bit more complacency. यार हमारे वोट से क्या फ़र्क पड़ेगा? एक एक वोट काउंट करता है. हमारी कोई सुनेगा नहीं. एक एक बात सुनाई देते. आप लोग सब जो इस टेबल के इर्द गिर्द मौजूद हैं, सबका एक पर्सनल स्टोरी है पॉलिटिक्स में आने का. That was from a personal sort of motivation आप लोग आए. तो वो चीज़ हम लोग वोट करने क्यों नहीं जा सकते? सिर्फ आप लोगों ने तो पॉलिटिक्स ज्वाइन कर लिया पर्सनल मोटिवेशन की वजह से, लोग वोट करने नहीं जा रहे. तो आप क्या समझते हैं लक्ष्मी? व्हाट डू यू थिंक, क्या है ग्राउंड लेवल की सिचुएशन?
So because a lot of people are watching this program, I'm sure I'll simply ask them कि आपने वोट डाली थी? आपने अपने आप को रजिस्टर किया था वोट डालने के लिए? आपको मालूम है कि आपकी वोट का क्या फ़ायदा हो सकता है आपके लिए? And a simple example I gave to people when I talk to people कि आपको वोट डालनी क्यों ज़रूरी है, कि आपके एमपी क्या काम करते हैं, आपको ये जानना क्यों ज़रूरी है कि आपके किस किस बातों के लिए आपको रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं, आपके काउंसलर का क्या रोल है, और काउंसिल और पार्लियामेंट्री सीट के अंदर क्या फ़र्क है, पार्लियामेंटेरियन आपके लिए क्या कर सकते हैं और जो काउंसिल वाले हैं क्या कर सकते हैं. कई लोगों को तो ये फ़र्क ही मालूम नहीं है कि काउंसलर का रोल क्या है और लोकल काउंसिल क्या करती है और पार्लियामेंटेरियन क्या करती है। दूसरी चीज़ ये है कि जब आप अपनी वोट डालते हैं, आप लॉयर हैं, you know that when you sign off your trust on a piece of paper to somebody like telling people कि अब आप मेरी तरफ मेरे लिए आप represent करें, power of attorney जैसे ज़रूरी कागजात जो होते हैं, जब आप वोट डालते हैं, you're almost like signing a power of attorney saying to the parliamentarian that you will represent me. But then why as an electorate, as a voter, do we forget that after the elections are over? अगर पार्लियामेंटेरियन आपके लिए परफॉर्म नहीं कर रहे हैं, दैट मीन्स कि ये हमारी गलती है एज अ वोटर, और उसकी पूरी की पूरी जिम्मेदारी आपके ऊपर है, क्योंकि आपने गलत बंदे को चुना है, आपने पावर ऑफ अटॉर्नी गलत बंदे के नाम पे लिखी है। सो दूसरी बात ये होती है कि क्या आपको मालूम है कि आपको पार्लियामेंटेरियन से क्या करवाना है? आपकी ठीक है, जो थोड़े ज़्यादा गुस्से में आए या जो पब्लिक सर्विस में ज़्यादा जुड़े हुए लोग हैं, उन लोग सब जो पॉलिटिक्स से जुड़े हुए लोग वो तो कर रहे हैं जो कर रहे हैं, मगर जो उसके बाहर, उस दायरे के बाहर लोग हैं, उन्हें यही मालूम नहीं है कि पॉलिटिक्स का मतलब क्या है। इट्स नॉट माई कप ऑफ टी, सॉरी, आई एम अ वेरी apolitical person. Organizations will increasingly say that we are an apolitical. I don't understand that term actually, because organizations by way of their structuring are political entities. They're not non-political or apolitical.
And I think Lakshmi, you're right. जो लक्ष्मी कह रही हैं ये बहुत सही कह रही हैं। Politics जो होती है वो every aspect of our life को affect करती है। मैं आपको एक basic example दूँ। आप नौकरी करते हैं, आप मेहनत करते हैं, जितना पैसा आप घर ले जाएंगे, अपनी फैमिली पर खर्च करेंगे और हॉलिडे पर करेंगे, वो हुकूमत पर आएगा, वो कितना टैक्स आपने देना है। So it depends which party is in government, which party is not in government, कितना टैक्स आपने देना, कितना नहीं देना। Every aspect is affected, so you should vote.
No, I think that's an important factor, and I think reason when we discuss these issues on the Insight program is that we want to debate them and get a little bit of better understanding of what it is. Viewers, we are going for a break. Stay with us. We'll be back very soon.